On this episode of The Road Trip Photographer, I'm in Mississippi to learn how Union troops captured the city of Vicksburg. Plus, I'm checking out some historic ruins in New Mexico, and the streets of San Antonio are getting chalked up. But first, I'm in Denver, Colorado to check out a life-size X-Wing. They cost millions, possibly billions of dollars to create. They have bombs, bullets, missiles, and they look really, really cool. These are the machines that keep America safe. And now they're on display at the Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum in Denver, Colorado.
This is an A-7D Corsair II. The airplane dates from the Vietnam War period of time. Actually came from the Air Force. This one was ended its career with the Colorado Air National Guard at Buckley Air Base here in Denver. But the Navy flew the same airplane. It's essentially the same aircraft, different missions, slightly different missions, different weapons, depending on whether it was Navy or Air Force. This is strictly by yourself. There is a two-person version of this airplane that was available for training, where the second pilot was right behind this seat that you see here. But this is the single pilot aircraft.
You can look at them up close, and if you're really lucky, you might even be able to get inside the cockpit.
This is an F-111A model, I believe, and it's basically a fighter bomber. The crew area that you're sitting in is designed much like the B-1A behind us to, if you have to leave the aircraft, it's designed with explosive bolts and a capsule comes off as whole. Parachutes come out and it can land on land or water.
Now, if you think these weapons of war are awesome, check out this life-size X-Wing from Star Wars. It comes complete with a droid in the back seat, and it even has Luke Skywalker's flight helmet on display. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, check out this pod racer from Episode 1. It even has a life-size replica of Anakin Skywalker dressed in his full flight gear. Believe it or not, this museum is actually a real military hangar that was part of the Lurie Air Force Base that was built in 1939. And it contains the history of the base from 1938 to 1994. Inside, you can find everything from military uniforms to a special room devoted to airplane art, which displays work from World War II to Vietnam and beyond. In 1997, the legislature passed House Bill 1269 that made Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum the official aerospace museum of Colorado.
I was stationed on this base in the early 70s, just about 2 blocks away in headquarters building, so I have an attachment to it.
Today it's open to the public for a small fee, but definitely worth the cost of admission. If you're in the Denver area and you're looking for something fun to do, why not check out this museum? From airplanes to cannon fire, I'm now heading to Mississippi to find out about the great Civil War battle for Vicksburg. For many here on the Mississippi, it's another lazy holiday out on the river. For others, it's a day of remembrance, a day that has special meaning here in the town of Vicksburg.
Less than 1% of wounds suffered in the American Civil War, or deaths I should say, came from a bayonet.
Vicksburg National Military Park Ranger Will Wilson is giving visitors a lesson in Civil War history.
However, the bayonet was used a lot more when you were in camp.
Staff members, along with volunteers from as far away as Missouri, are dressed in historic uniforms. It's all part of a special Memorial Day event called Military Through the Ages. Meanwhile, back on the river, people are enjoying the holiday with a relaxing boat ride. They have the freedom to do this now, but it wasn't always so peaceful out here on the water. 149 years ago, iron gunboats like the USS Carroll once brought war to the region, using gunpowder and cannonballs to vanquish their enemies. From the beginning of the Civil War, both sides knew whoever controlled the Mississippi controlled the lifeblood of America. Without modern highways connecting the states, it was difficult to transport supplies, ammunition, and troops to the front lines. On May 26, 1863, General Grant laid the city of Vicksburg under siege. Union artillery pounded the city day and night with unrelenting shock and awe. Inside the fortress, Confederates waited for a rescue that would never come. As days turned into months, the situation became more dire by the moment. Hungry soldiers resorted to eating rats. Citizens took refuge in underground caves like this. Supplies were running out, food was scarce, and without reinforcements, it was just a matter of time before disease and illness took over. Finally, on July 4, 1863, after 2 months of northern aggression, the city of Vicksburg fell. For the North, Vicksburg was a turning point in the war. However, for freed slaves, it was something more profound. With the fall of Vicksburg and the Union victory at Gettysburg, the Civil War would soon come to an end. According to National Park Service records, 19,233 lives were lost in the Battle of Vicksburg. It's a high cost of freedom, paid in full by all who wore the uniform. And as long as people continue to visit Vicksburg National Military Park, the stories of the people who fought and died here will always live on. From the solemn battlefields of a civil war to the ruins of an abandoned mission, I'm now heading to New Mexico to learn about the people who once lived here. Dilapidated red brick walls are all that remains of what once was a thriving village and house of God here in central New Mexico. Left in isolation but not forgotten, these ruins are now a state park, located in central New Mexico, just about 76 miles southeast of Albuquerque. This site I'm at today, called Kawari, is just one of 3 historical sites in the Salinas Pueblo Missions National Monument. Kawari is actually the smallest of the 3 Pueblo ruin sites that dates back to colonial times. Originally, Kawari was a Native American village, also known as a pueblo, which had a large population according to the National Park Service. In 1598, the Spanish first discovered these pueblos while exploring the New World. Later in 1626, the Spanish mission of Kawari was established. The Kawari Pueblo mission was just one of several missions that popped up all over the Southwest as the Spanish Empire expanded into the New World. And it's through these missions that the Catholic Church spread its faith. In 1678, the Guari Pueblo mission was abandoned because of drought, famine, and disease, along with Apache aggression. It wasn't until the 1800s that settlers would return, creating what's now the town of Mountain Air. Well, I took a lot of great pictures out here today, but now it's time to get back in the truck and head on to my next adventure. It's time to leave my home state once again to find out why so many artists are gathering in downtown San Antonio.
You're doing all the work here.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
This is ArtPace's annual Chalk It Up Festival. It's the 9th year that we've been doing this. It's always on the second Saturday of October, and it's a celebration of contemporary art and art education. We have more than 20 of San Antonio's local artists joining us out here today to chalk up the sidewalks, and then we also have 45 teamworks groups, which are made up of groups from schools, area schools, and community organizations chalking the sidewalks.
Okay, so it's the money that's being raised here, what is that going towards?
It's going towards ArtPace, which is located at 445 North Main, just around the corner downtown. We are an artist residency program that has exhibitions and educational programs year-round. With contemporary artists. We're always free and open to the public, like Chalk It Up is free and open to the public today. I think that this is vital because it brings people downtown into our urban core, which happens to be ArtPace's neighborhood as well, and it showcases all of the wealth of creative talent we have here in our community. We're so lucky to live in a vibrant community and to have access to these artists who live amongst us and see, you get to meet them at Chalk It Up because they'll be working on their murals all day long, and you get to join in the fun as well and learn a little bit about contemporary art and get your hands dirty with chalk.
Well, that's all the time I have today, but if you'd like to see more adventures, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And watch out for new episodes of The Road Trip Photographer. You can also read about my travel adventures on my blog at the address below. And don't forget to like my page on Facebook.